Your Google My Business listing is the jewel in the crown of your digital marketing strategy. However, very few businesses have their listing set up correctly. Now, I've been a speaker on stage with Google and I've helped literally thousands of businesses to optimize their Google My Business listing. And business owners are usually shocked when I show them just how many people are searching in Google on a daily basis for the products and services that they're selling, and just how many customers they're missing out on, or even worse, handing over to their competitors simply because they're not using their Google My Business listing correctly. Now, the good news is Google makes it easy, and when you learn how simple it is, the results are almost immediate. This lesson is designed to provide an A to Z overview of Google My Business and its management tools. In upcoming lessons, I dive deep into specific elements relating to setup, management, and strategy. The best way to check if you have a Google My Business listing is to type your business name into Google. This should bring up your business details in the organic search area of Google, which is here. It should also bring up a knowledge panel on the right-hand side. Now, if a knowledge panel doesn't appear on the right-hand side, it's likely that you don't have a Google My Business listing. But before coming to this conclusion, you should check all variations of your business name on Google Search and Google Maps. For example, if your business name was Tom's Cafe and Grill and you were in Ride, try variations like Tom's Cafe Ride, and Tom's Cafe and Grill Ride, in case your business name on Google includes the location. Now, this can happen as an error if it's set up automatically by Google. The last thing you want is to create a second Google My Business listing. This is referred to as a duplicate listing, and this can get your business suspended or deleted from Google, so to be sure to do a very thorough check. If you've checked all the variations of your name on Google Search and Google Maps, and a knowledge panel still hasn't appeared, you should then set up a new Google My Business listing. Now, you should set up an individual listing for every one of your business locations. That's one Google My Business listing for every business location that you have. To set up a Google My Business listing from scratch, you have to go to google.com/business. Here you'll see a Manage Now button. If you click it, it will take you to the login screen to log in to your Google account. Now, your Google account is different to your Google My Business listing. Your Google account is created automatically when you create a Gmail account. It's your Google account that manages all of your Google services, and Google My Business is just one of your Google services. I've dedicated a whole lesson to setting up a Google account for those businesses that don't have one set up yet. There are certain things you must consider in terms of Google's policies and guidelines to make sure that you don't get your Google account or Google My Business listing penalized or suspended by Google. For this video, let's assume a Google knowledge panel did appear on the right-hand side, and let's assume that you didn't set it up or you can't remember setting it up. Maybe it was claimed by a previous business owner or an employee, or maybe Google set it up for you without you realizing. Now, Google can do this if it recognizes you as a legitimate business from other online directories. If your listing has a link that says own this business, or maybe it says claim this business, this means one of two things. It either means you're not logged into your Google account or you haven't claimed the business listing yet. To check, just click the link and it will take you to this page. The email address that is shown here is the email address that has claimed this listing. It's an abbreviated version of the email address, which Google does for privacy reasons. If the email address shown here is your email address, but you've forgotten your password, you can click on the Account Recovery Help Guide, which will help you recover your password. If you don't recognize the email address, you can click on the Learn More link, and this will take you to a page that explains what you can do to have the listing transferred over into your name. If you have an immediate problem with the listing, let's say the information's incorrect, you can click Report a Problem to connect directly with Google to have the information updated while you're waiting for the listing to be transferred over to you. The other option is to click on the Request Access button. This will connect you with the person who has claimed the listing, so you can request that it's transferred over to your Google account. Now, before you can do this, you need to have a Google account, and I explain the right way to set up a Google account in the next lesson. For now, let's jump back to the Google My Business listing so I can go through some of the elements. If you click on the photo that has the tag See Photos, this is where the content on your Google My Business listing is featured. Content includes photos and a Google 360-degree virtual tour, which takes people inside your business. You can also add video to your Google listing. Now, video is very important. It'll help you build higher authority with Google, and ultimately, it'll help you connect with more customers in Google. This is because over 85% of all content viewed online is video, and Google prioritizes businesses that use video to meet user demand. In upcoming lessons, I explain more about using content to optimize your Google listing and how content holds the key to fast tracking your success in Google. If we jump back to Google search, you'll see that the content the business owner has added to their Google listing is also displayed in the organic search area. And this helps build higher engagement and visibility in Google search and in Google Maps. A very important consideration is your name, address, and phone number. This is very important to Google, and it's referred to as your NAP, NAP, or citations. The formatting of your name, address, and phone number must be the same on your Google listing as it is on your website and also in all online directories. Google cross-verifies your NAP to determine its accuracy, and an accurate NAP is very important to determining your authority and visibility in Google. I dive deeper in the upcoming lessons so you understand exactly how to format your name, address, and phone number on your Google listing, on your website, and across all local online directories. I also explain the directories that you must be in to maximize your authority and visibility in Google. Now, reviews are also a very important ingredient to your success on Google. Reviews are proven to influence people's buying decisions, so the structure of your reviews is really important. There's also a minimum number of reviews that you must have to build your authority in Google, and believe it or not, you don't want to have all 5-star reviews. I explain this in upcoming lessons. I also teach you how to get reviews from all of your customers to maximize your influence in search. Now, it's very important that the information on your Google listing is complete and correct, and it's updated regularly. This includes things like your business trading hours. Now, part of Google's algorithm measures how often you log into your Google My Business listing to make updates and to respond to reviews. In other words, Google is measuring how active you are in managing your Google My Business listing. Most businesses only have their Google listing 30 to 60% complete. So if you have your listing completely set up and fully optimized, you have a significant advantage over a lot of other businesses. Now, in upcoming lessons, I'll walk you through the correct way to optimize and manage your Google My Business listing so you are 100% compliant with Google best practice. One of the most confusing things for businesses is how they add their social media icons to their Google listing. The thing is, you can't add them yourself, which I think is a little crazy. And in saying this, I think Google will allow businesses to add these icons themselves in future updates. But for now, you have to rely on Google to identify and add your social media icons to your Google listing. Now, Google identifies your social media accounts in the following 3 ways. The first is by picking up references to your social media from your website. The other is cross-referencing your name, address, and phone number from your social pages with your website and Google listing. And the other is by you requesting Google to add them directly. Unfortunately though, it's not as easy as just asking Google to add them. Google will still cross-check and verify information on your website and social pages before they decide to add the icons to your listing. So it's very important that you have your website and social accounts correctly set up. And in upcoming lessons, I explain exactly how to do this. One of the most powerful marketing levers in Google is the ability to create posts. When you consider that people are searching for specific products and services in Google, creating posts on your Google listing is extremely powerful. If you're not creating regular posts, it's almost certain that you're missing out on opportunities to get new customers. You can create posts for discounts and limited time offers that serve as clickbait to encourage people to connect with you. In upcoming lessons, I explain the effective ways to use posts in Google Search and Google Maps. So let's have a look at Google Maps. But before we do, let me explain that Google Search is run out of the US and Google Maps is run out of India. They are 2 completely different silos and divisions in Google. The information, however, is cross-populated between the 2 platforms, so you don't need to manage the information separately. It's all managed through your Google My Business account. As you can see here, the information is formatted differently in Maps, but it's the same information being shared that is in Search. You can see here the same posts from the Google Search are showing here in Google Maps. When you click on the images, you can see that the content that is featured is the same as the content in Google Search. You can see the photos and you can access the Google 360 that allows you to virtually walk through the business in exactly the same way as you can in Search. You can also access the same videos. One of the key benefits of having a Google 360 added to your Google listing is that it integrates in with Google Street View and Google Maps. So when people are searching through Google Maps, they can click on the map and go directly inside your business. Now, this is one thing that Google really wants businesses to have, and Google will reward businesses for having a Google 360. This is because it enhances the user experience through Google Maps. Now, when I use the word reward, I mean you become more visible in Google Search and Google Maps, and you have a more visible presence in local search. Some businesses may not see the value of having a Google 360 from a content perspective, but I encourage you to think of it as premium content that Google wants your business to have, and the benefits of the increased visibility and engagement that come from having it on your Google listing. So let's have a look at Google My Business in the mobile search and mobile map environments, starting with mobile search. If I scroll down and click on the blue arrow, it opens up the Google My Business listing. This is what people see when they search for you on a mobile device. You can see the information is the same on mobile as it is on desktop, and the posts are featured here. If you go up here and click on the images, you can see the featured content. You can see the photos that are updated by the business owner. You can also go into Google Maps. You can see the images featured in a carousel format. The business information is displayed here, and the action buttons are here that people can click on to navigate to your business via Google Maps. They can also call you, they can send a direct message, or they can share your listing with a friend or visit your website. They can also click on the map to go directly into your business through Google Street View. So let's have a look at the Google My Business management area on both desktop and mobile, starting with desktop. This is where you manage your Google My Business listing on both Google Search and Google Maps. To access the management area, you must be logged into your Google account. When you're logged in, you can see an overview of all activity on your listing, including updates and reviews, as well as insights that show the activity in terms of engagement. You can also reply to reviews from here. I explain in upcoming lessons why it's very important you respond to every single review and the process of removing fake reviews. If you click here, this is where you can manage all of the content on your Google My Business listing. If you click on By Customer, this shows the content that other people have added to your Google listing. Now, it's very important that you monitor and manage this content because anyone can add content to your Google My Business listing. Also, it's worth pointing out that you can't just simply remove content that other people have added. Google must authorize the removal of content added by third parties. In upcoming lessons, I explain how to manage content from third parties and how to have it removed by Google. If you click here, this is where you add your Google 360. And if you click here, this is where you add and manage your video via the video tab. Google makes it very easy to manage your Google My Business listing via your mobile phone. And you can do this by downloading an app called Google My Business. Although once it's downloaded to your phone, it's just called My Business. Now, once you've got the app on your phone, all you need to do is click on it and log in. Now, I'm already logged in, so I'm skipping that step and going straight into the management area. Once you're logged in, you can manage your Google listing on your phone, just like you can on a desktop. You can see the number of views your Google My Business listing receives each month, including the number of searches made for businesses in your business category. You can also access your business insights in real time and data that shows you how many people have clicked the action buttons on your Google listing to visit your website, request directions via Google Maps, or how many have called you. You can use your mobile phone to update your listing details at any time by clicking this button here. Having the Google My Business app also makes it really easy to respond to reviews and direct messages in real time. This lesson was designed to give you a basic overview of Google My Business and the management functionality. In upcoming lessons, I dive deep into the key elements relating to setup, management, and strategy to help you connect with a lot more customers in Google.